Hello, welcome to Up and Adams. There's a Packer on the verge of a wild NFL record that you might not know about. I'll tell you about it. Some other storylines. What's not getting enough love? We know it's getting a lot of love. Davante Adams. Where's he going? He's ruled out. They got a game against the Steelers. No Davante Adams. We've got a Thursday night game. We're just a night away from Niners at Seahawks. Gronk will be on the show tomorrow to break that one down. Now Niners, no Jake Moody for them. They signed a kicker. No Hufanga in that one. Their injuries are piling up. We'll dig into it. I'm going to run through the landing spots from Davante. I am team Davante. I want him to be happy. I want him to be with a contender. Does the Salah firing change that in the lens of him reuniting with Aaron Rodgers across the country? Let's dig into that. Your thoughts at Up and Adams. You guys, I wish we had a phone we could call into. This sort of a Jets thing is when I wish we had a phone people can call, from Hocus and tell us what's going on. You guys can tweet us for sure. You guys can hit up the YouTube chat. Thanks for watching, especially on MSG Network with all the New York stuff going on. Will we get to the Giants somehow in today's show? I hope so, because we've been ignoring them for the most of the week. I dabbled in them a little bit yesterday. We'll go through the slate, tell you what's interesting maybe over on FanDuel Sportsbook. We also have David Montgomery on the show, stopping by. They got a big game against the Cowboys, and Mike Silver is going to join us. He wrote a book. We're trying to find it here in studio. He wrote a book on coaches. It's called The Why Is Everything. We're going to get his read on what's going on with the Jets, with the Steelers, with the Ravens. Mike Silver will join us not only for the Jets, he'll talk to us about the Ravens. Of course, he'll talk to us about the Rams and the Niners and all of that going on. Those two teams not facing each other, but the Niners squaring off against the Seahawks in Seattle. Seattle went down. Lots going on the show today. We will have some attaboys to give out. David Montgomery will join us. Big game against the Cowboys, as we said. And we'll dig into the Adams stuff here momentarily. I do want to say, sending love to, oh my gosh, everyone in Florida. I've been just glued. It's, you feel helpless. You're looking for ways to help. We're trying to figure out with Baker Mayfield's people, because he's been so involved. Of course, the Glazers down with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ownership, how to help. But for right now, just sending love to Florida, Tampa, Sarasota, everywhere in between, bracing for Hurricane Milton. It sounds serious. It sounds like you need to try to get out of there and be safe. And we have more and more ways to help. We'll definitely get that to you. But just wanted to start there, sending love to them. Gronk, of course, he's got a home, Tampa-ish, maybe Clearwater-ish, somewhere down there. Not quite sure. He will not be here today. He will be here tomorrow. Usually it's Gronk Day. And we'll hit up some underreactions. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about what's going on, even just with the hurricanes. Like such an insane thing going on right now, just a couple weeks after Helene. But let's turn the page as far as the schedule and what we've got. I mentioned the NFC West battle. That's first place on the line, okay, in that division. The Niners, 3.5-point road favorites. There's another game in London, Jags-Bears. Apparently the mayor of Chicago is going to that one. Nobody's happy about it. Drake May making his first start at home against the Texans, 7-point favorites there. Sounds like there's a chance we could see Spencer, I'm not saying his last name because it's a whole snake manifestation I'm not interested in. He's going to take on the Bucs potentially because Derek Carr expected to be out a week or two with an oblique injury. People are comparing to Drew Brees' injury, blah, blah, blah. The Jets continue to be the story, though, right? That's all anyone is talking about. The firing of Robert Saleh, his removal from the building, everything in between. The sort of stunned sports media about this across coast to coast. And then there's questions, right? There's questions about what does this mean for the Jets? Does this still make them a contender? Were they ever a contender? What does their record say? We heard Peyton Manning before the firing. Would it be different if we talked and interviewed the legend Peyton Manning this week? Would he be in more panic mode when it comes to the Jets? Are they fighting for a ring, or are they fighting to stay off the back pages in New York? They're trying to stay out of Brian Costello's paws and the New York Post. I don't know. I'm starting to think about it, and I really am interested, as always, I mean, in all the angles, all the perspectives, but I sat here a week ago-ish thinking about it from our friend Davante Adams' perspective, and we went down a list, and I'd like to pull that up because, what a difference a week makes, right? So Saleh gets canned. The Saints lose Derek Carr for a few weeks at least, right? Because if you're thinking, how long was it? How big is this injury? Packers are on this list. I said he goes there. They're going to the Super Bowl. They've got some weird wide receiver stuff going on. What's up with Dobbs, right? Last week, Christian Watson's been hurt too. Don't tell me there's not panic up with McDermott and company. Like that Bill squad, that receiver room causing back-to-back losses, okay? Performance against the Texans, bleak, not pretty. You think they'd favor some leverage in having a lot of suitors for the Raiders for Davante Adams' services on teams that are contenders that were on that list. The team that everyone is still trying to make the most sense of has been the Jets. They're reuniting. Who's been driving the storyline for since May? Me. I want it. I want the Cinderella story. I want them to ride out together, draw their swords against the AFC, and then and eventually against Mahomes, beat them and get Davante a ring. Get Aaron too. Cement him and his legacy. That's what the Jets got him for. The Jets got him, and now it's not gone a great way. And it's kind of what happens when you acquire a great talent. You have to go all in. You truly have to go all in. So now the Jets have to go get him. Firing Saleh, I think there's a lot of people saying, if you're Davante, would you want to go there then? Would you think it's a contender? Doesn't it change things? I'm going to argue hard no. And I personally, I don't even know what Davante's super after. I ask him, he says he wants to have fun. He wants to feel good. And he wants to win a championship. I want for Davante Adams to be happy. I want happiness for him, and I want him to play for a contender. I want him to play meaningful football in January. So the question then becomes, does meaningful football in January exist with this Packers team? Is that where, is that where you go as we are shooting this around? Definitely tweet us. Up and Adam Show. We'll have David Montgomery on the program. We're going to have Mike Silver. I think he'll have a lot to say about the brass, about Woody, about Joe Douglas, what they're doing, the handling of Saleh. Of course, Mike, lots of ties to the Bay Area, so he knows Saleh in and out, and we'll talk to him about that. Those are the two things that I want for Davante. So then I'm looking at it. It's all the more reason to go get Davante. There's not this trade might not happen. No. Make no mistake, this trade must happen. People say like firing coaches adds a spark. It's a spark they needed. I don't think Saleh was some sort of, I don't know, I'm going to have to throw a coach under the bus, like Josh McDaniels-y figure that like things all of a sudden feel lighter and there's a big change. I don't think that's it. I think that he was more not making an impact where maybe one needed to be made, and there was a question about utility is truly what I believe. And now with him gone, does it make a huge difference? Kind of an indictment, I hate to say it, but does it make a huge difference with what's left, with what's going on here? Firing Saleh does not add a spark, in my opinion. The spark is adding Davante. Rodgers needs him. You cannot watch this offense and tell me otherwise. 27th ranked offense in the NFL right now. I've asked everybody from Kuechly, Gronk, we've been talking about this for weeks. If you're the Jets, you cannot turn back now. You've gone all in with Rodgers. There are no half measures here. You have to make this move, and the Raiders know it, so it's not real great for the Jets. For Davante, I've said it all along that these things are happy for him. I think he will be happy. I think, we had Kevin Durant. I don't know do we have the clip of Kevin Durant? We don't have Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant, we interviewed him last week, and I brought up Davante Adams, who he's friends with. And Kevin's first inclination was to say, Davante Adams knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing because he went and requested a trade. Now, I don't even know that he requested a trade. I can't wait to hear from Davante Adams. I don't know what happened, when it happened, the timeline. Everyone seems to care quite a lot. I don't know how much stock I'm putting into any of that until we hear from Davante, until I actually hear from even the owner of the Raiders, we'll see, or Telesco or somebody. But he did that knowing I'm going to be happier somewhere else. And I'm doing it knowing I don't have control here. I don't ultimately have control. I can say, this is what would make me happy. I'd like to reunite with Aaron, or I'd like to go hang out with Derek Carr. I'm comfortable with him. It's part of the reason I came to this organization. It didn't work out. We tried to make it work. It didn't work out. So happiness to me is the Jets still, because we have to think about this. It's not like when you're thinking about where you are, this is not a rookie. This is not a non-well thought out man who's saying, the grass is greener. Oh my gosh, things look great over there with the Jets. You don't think he hears, you don't think all of us hear things that have gone on in the Jets building, that things have been reported, whether or not they're true, what he's hearing. Like, there's no world where he's like, you know what, my decision on me wanting to get out of the Raiders is to go down because I really want Clint Kubiak. I really want to be with Saleh. No, it's about a million other things probably. Again, I don't know, I haven't talked to him. I'd like to talk to him. I can't wait to talk to him. But I want him to be happy. I think that's still there. I think you have a guy like Garrett Wilson who's come on our show. Do we have a Garrett Wilson? We have Davante Adams. On what? okay, and when we're talking about happiness, and we're talking about contending and what Davante can add. I know he's not going to fix the O-line. I know he's not going to fix the creativity. Maybe he'll bolster the creativity. He might not do that, right? With Hackett, all of that. There's some stuff there. But there is a communication. There is chemistry. There is reading each other's minds. There's these smiles that go on between Adams and Rodgers. And even if it doesn't make them the #1 offense in the NFL, will they be a top 10 offense if Davante comes? Yeah, they've got Garrett Wilson. They've got Breece Hall. They can make it happen. And even just having, every week I ask Davante about Aaron because I only ask him because I know he's going to give it to me straight. And he knows Aaron so well. It's impossible to sit down with Davante Adams and not ask him about Aaron Rodgers, what makes him tick, what's he thinking on this play. Listen, just last week he was telling us about Garrett and Aaron and a miscommunication they had in a game they lost. Talk me through what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, just based off of the coverage, you get in like a 2-shell, cover 4. Obviously, Aaron was hoping that he would have gotten his head around a little sooner, to kind of put it on him and make the field goal a little bit easier. And I think sometimes it's not always easier. It's not always easy to do that on the fly because you got to read coverage. But that's one of those plays that, Aaron and I had many of those early on in my career where we didn't link up on it. And then, hopefully that'll be a moment for Garrett to kind of learn from. And now he'll know for the next time. And Aaron's the type of guy, he may be in a huddle and he'll tell you in a 2-minute situation at the end of the game, 46 seconds left in the game. And they'll say, hey, Tate or Garrett, you remember back in 2022 when we got that one look and you didn't look quick enough. Like I need you to just get your eyes around quick. So, just filing that away in your memory bank, dealing with the elephant, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You got to be able to recall and correct some of those mistakes.
I don't know if the trade ends up happening, but this is why I champion it. Just go. He is an elephant. I don't even know what that means. Go deal with the elephant. You know how to handle it. You're also going to be in a receiver room where you can then communicate through osmosis. We asked Garrett Wilson, Garrett Wilson literally watched all of Davante's tape. He asked questions through our show, through our microphone to Davante Adams that Davante Adams answered on our show. I think that's the spark. And you need to do it. I don't know what the leverage. What are you just going to fold? We're not going to add anybody. You got to go get Davante. He'll open things up for Garrett, who's getting all the attention right now. He's going to force defenses to be more conservative and help open things up for a run game that ranks dead last in the NFL somehow. And yeah, you got to get somebody that can get everybody on the same page as Aaron. And I don't think the Jets offense needs to be the greatest show on turf. I don't think they need to be the #1 ranked offense. I don't know, #2 ranked defense. That should free things up. And I wonder if the Davante domino helps sort of solve the riddle of the Hassan Reddick situation that we're not really talking about. I want to see Hassan Reddick on the field. Whether it's with the Jets, that'd be cool. That'd be fun. That'd be a nice thing to get that done. What a win for Douglas that would be. Or figure this out so you can get Davante and get Hassan somewhere where I can see him on the field because I miss seeing him. I don't know with the way things are looking with the Jets. Do you need him? Can you use him to help get someone else to get help? Just go all in. Go all in, Jets, and get it done. And other teams, I saw this. I thought Eisen was brilliant on this. My producer Chris sent it to me this morning. If you're DaCosta, if you're the Ravens, go. I know people are saying it's not them. Or if you're the Chiefs, now that maybe they're trying to figure stuff out, they've got a Hassan Reddick thing to figure out. They've clearly fired a coach. There's this. And if there's any bulking, which I don't think that there is, then you go and you make the best play to get him. I still think Davante comes out on top. I believe what Kevin Durant said. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's done. He's considered everything. And do I think there's a world that he stays with the Raiders? Sure. I just want him to be happy, and I want him to play meaningful football, and I hope that that's where he ends up. Okay, I want to get to some things that we're underreacting to. If there's an angle to this story, we spent 30 minutes talking about whether or not Belichick would be interested in going to the Jets. I would love to see it. I'm just a champion of storylines. I understand he hates the Jets. Nobody hates anything enough. I think he hates not being on a football field. So I would like to see something happen there. But they're going to try to figure it out. And I wish Woody Johnson and Joe Douglas all the luck in the world. Here's some things that we're not giving enough love to this morning. Green Bay, okay? Xavier McKinney. I give him lots of love. Is he getting the love that he deserves, though? We're underreacting to the fact that he is truly the most impactful addition to the defensive side of the ball in the entire league this season. Five, an interception in all 5 games this season. He recovers a fumble this past week, which is nice, little icing on the cake. He's responsible for 6 of the Packers' league-leading 14 turnovers on the year. If they go to a Super Bowl, this is why, okay? They had 18 all of last year without him. His picks always come in the biggest spot. It's watching a movie all of the time. The one last week picking off Stafford, the Rams, what you just saw, that was crazy. Rams were driving to take the lead. With the pick on Sunday, he became the 5th player in NFL history to record an interception in 5 straight games to start a season. But it gets even deeper than that, and this is the underreactive part of it, okay? If you go back to last season, he also had 2 picks in his final game as a Giant. That means he has recorded interceptions in 6 consecutive games. That, my friends, is an NFL record. That ties him with Mel Blount. That ties him with Lester Hayes. If he can get one off Kyler Murray this weekend, 10 a.m. on Fox at Lambeau, bringing them to 4-2, that'd be nice. He will stand alone. If he can get a pick off Kyler, he stands alone with the NFL record of 7 straight. Interception in 7 straight games. Just something to keep an eye on as we're watching the early window on Sunday. And everyone wants to, Charles Woodson is tweeting about how great Xavier McKinney is. It's an incredible thing that's happening, thanks to me. By the way, when I tweet things like, I'm not getting enough praise for this, I'm absolutely joking. So 99% of people understand that I want a statue erected next to Vince Lombardi with some cheese curds in sterling silver or adamantium or whatever you want to make it. But I'm just joking. There hasn't been a lot to underreact to, guys. We have not spoken about Hamilton. You and I have had many a talk about this. This isn't up in Adam's pen. Huh? What? It's all over my hand now. Of course, it just falls apart in my hand. Metaphor. I'm kidding. Question for you. Why don't we talk about the Jags on this program? You were the maestro. You were the string puller. You were who I yell at when we don't have Kevin Durant, as I thought I did. Why have we not talked about the Jags, in your opinion? Let's just really get to let's get to the innards of this.
Yeah, I mean, there have been places where we have had some Jaguar stuff scheduled in the show that someone has decided to take more time other places, which is fine, which is, her decision. But yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of, and also on the show, we like to accentuate the positives. There haven't been a lot of positives up until this past weekend.
Yeah, we have one, and they got the Bears this weekend. That'll be a fun one. London, all of that. Another early game, another 19 hours. We're Scott Hansening it again on Sunday, and we're so looking forward to it. League office, Park Ave. We can't wait. We don't talk about the Jags. We don't talk about Bruno. We just don't. We just don't on this program. You're a Jags fan. Sending love to Florida. We only talk about them with hurricanes. We don't talk about Florida when it comes to anything else. But I don't want to miss, as like you're saying, there's something positive to pull out. And we saw, a win, which was nice, right? They beat the Colts. But part of the reason for that first start was so horrifying and frustrating because there's a lot of talent on the roster. So then right away it goes to the coaching and all of that. And it was nice to see some of the talent shine in Week 5. We put it on the show. We said Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a day, 5 for 122 on the day. Look at this, 85. I'm just going to lay out for it. Jags, this is your moment. Enjoy. This is an 85-yard catch and run. Saying, come on, Colts defense, what are we doing? Colts run defense, what are we doing? He hit 22.15 miles per hour here, making it the fastest play of the whole season according to Next Gen Stats. Second fastest anyone's moved on the football field in the past 4 years. He's now 6th in the NFL in receiving on the year, by the way, which is crazy. This is a true number 1 on the outside, something that Trevor hasn't really had up to that point in his career, with him and Gabe just jawing on the sideline. This is the guy who's making the points happen. And then Trayvon Walker sacking Joe Flacco 3 times in the game. That's nice. There's some bright spots here. He ranks top 5 in the NFL, 5 sacks this season, 10 in his last 9 games overall. That ranks 2nd in the entire league over that span. Jags, we're trying to lift you up here, okay? He hasn't figured out. He's flashing the talent. This is a number 1 overall pick. You nailed it, and nobody's talking about it. And then there's the curious case of Trevor, who I don't think about very much, but here it is. 82.4% of his passes in this win, he threw for a career high 371 yards, 2 touchdowns for the first time this year. He gave you something to be excited about. Not just the hair, not just the Waffle House, but he had the command. He had the confidence, ability that earned him the big deal, the money deal that people are now going to tear him apart over. Now, of course, this isn't going to be enough to silence the critics of Trevor, LaShawn McCoy and LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson included. He needs to start stacking these kind of wins. Who do they got? Who do they got this week, Cam? Sorry, the Bears. They got the Bears, like I said, in London. Okay, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's a tough defense there. That's a feisty defense. And they're feeling themselves coming off a win. By the way, I will say this. Underreacting, Hamilton. Coach Eberflus, best dressed coach. Said it. Do you see what he wears? Do you see what he wears?
I did not. I have not been.
It's not a one and done. It is not a one and done.
Yeah.
He's consistently turning out clean looks. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you two underreactive, like well put together gentlemen that I'm like, huh. Mr. Eberflus, I don't know who, I imagine his beautiful wife, Kelly, has something to do with it because she's on point, on trend, on everything always. But it's not like overzealous. He's just, I'm talking like I look like a freaking mop today, but it's clean. He's got clean looks, good sunglasses. Like that took a lot to find. He didn't do it, I'm sure, but he looks good. He looks great. His hair looks good. He's got the good outfits. I will give you another one. Maybe we can pull up a picture in the break. Kevin Burkhardt. Now, everyone's Tom Brady. He's coming out here. He's dapping everybody up. He's the star. Kevin Burkhardt has done something. There's been he is here. He's a 10 out of 10. The way he's dressing, all of it's working for Kevin Burkhardt. One of the nicest, most incredible people in sports media anyway. Now he's gonna like show, he looks, I mean, standing next to Tom Brady, just like the put togetherness, you know what I'm talking about? But Kevin is serving right now. That's where I decided.
So you got Brady next to you. You got to, I mean, I love how talk of Jags Bears in London brought you here, but we made it.
But we made it. Well, the Jags, I fell asleep halfway through, so I needed to figure it out. Sending all our love to Florida. We love you, Florida. Finally, we are underreacting. Let's go up the coast. Giants defense. We said we'd get to the Giants. MSG Network, we love you. Thanks for embracing us. Thanks for being so nice to our show as we are airing there right now on the East Coast. I'm not totally shocked that they're leading the league in sacks. I thought it could be a possibility after they traded for Brian Burns. They give him Thibodeau, which is a beautiful draft pick that needs to pan out. It's the dynamic edge duo now that has accounted for 4 of those 22 quarterback takedowns that makes what they're doing so freaking special. Who are they being led by? My guy, Sexy Dexy. 6 sacks from the interior. That's what I expect. I'm not giving you that much love, Lawrence, because I expect that from you. Second most in the league, by the way, to Aiden Hutchinson. Next on the list is Jason, help me, Hamilton, Pinnock? I'm getting that wrong.
Jason Pinnock.
I know he's a safety. I know he's doing his thing. These numbers are crazy. I mean, Shane Bowen, they got this new DC. They're blitzing all over the place, and this has been like a total team effort. The G-Men have 11 different players with 1 sack this season. They've come from every single position on defense. I've always talked about how rushing the passer is obviously like perennially, historically, a huge part of like the way the Giants want to be, and it's their identity. But the kind of the way they're doing it's a little different. It's a little TikTok-y. It's with the times and what they've done from the past. And by the way, in case you're curious, the last time the Giants led the league in sacks was, let's just do some things here, Hamilton, 2007. I don't think I need to remind fans what happened that year. Not saying it's going to happen again, but I mean, the way that the NFL's looking this year, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? That year you wouldn't have said it in week 5 either, or even in week 17 of that year. So you never know. But yeah, it's good to see that identity returning to this football team with them getting after the quarterback and that being a staple of what they do.
And the Dable, no neighbors, the way they're winning, really, really big stuff from them. And who are they playing this week? We should have that in there. Are they on a bye? No, who are they playing?
They have the Bengals on Sunday Night Football.
Ooh, Bengals Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm taking. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is like, what's a bigger game? Bengal. Just not even like for the team, for the NFL, for the storylines, for the plot. Bengals Giants or Buffalo Bills Jets. Like if the Jets lose, then you almost. Can you go get Devontae if the Jets lose? Or is it done? Who's more done?
I think you still do because you still got, Rodgers still wants to go another year too. So you get him in there. I still think you make it happen. But if the Jets win, let's go positive. If the Jets win, they're in first place in the AFC East. Let's not forget that part of this.
If the Jets lose, I think it's bleak. I think my old New Yorker comes out. I got air-conditioned water coming, spilling on my forehead, a pigeon's flying into my face. I am right back in Tribeca. I'm calling Boomer and saying, Boomer, I'm waiting on hold for 30 minutes. Going through the Holland Tunnel. Don't love that. All right, we'll be back after this. Those are our underreactions. 25 minutes of straight, this is what it feels like to be Colin Cowherd. We'll be back after this. We will have David Montgomery. We will have Mike Silver on the program. I don't like calling grown men Mike. Michael Silver. Okay, so some attaboys quickly, you think? This is very weird. What is this? What is this? Kat, what is this? The book or the... This is not a book. What is this? Yeah, it's not a book. What is it? It was funny. It was funny. All right. Oh, Hamilton. Okay, cool. I'll use this too. This is fine. It all works. Good job, Kat. Thank you. Gosh. Hamilton, if the Jet, I don't, By the way, Niners so banged up.
Yeah. The Hufanga injury now.
Why is that so? No, yeah.
Yeah.
Moody.
Yeah.
I don't know why Schrift is obsessed with Nico Collins for zero reason. Loves, it's the new Pam Oliver. Look, Schrift gets like onto something. He said, I'm getting minute by minute injury report updates on Nico. Is Nico Collins on your fantasy team, Schrift? Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Not for this week.
Receiver.
Who's number 2? Jaden Reed? Let's play this game.
Number 2, I think, is Chase after last week.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pulling it up right now.
Quiz me on this. This is always fun.
Yep, Chase is number 2.
Then Jaden? No, somebody else? Jaden was number 2 going into this.
It's one of the usual suspects, I'll say that.
Huh?
He says, can you take it off the deck because the house is still?
It's fine. I don't care. But thank you. What do you want?
This here?
Come save this. Please. Be my Devontae Adams.
That was amazing name black.
Be my Devontae Adams, my friend. I like that sweatshirt. How was the game?
The game is incredible. We took over the stage.
You wore shorts.
Is that a bad thing?
No, we talked about how we don't wear shorts to work, and then you wore shorts to the game. I just thought it's the first thing I noticed.
I'm a different version of me.
First thing I noticed is you wore shorts. You on mic?
Yeah, I am.
What a day. Welcome back to Up and Adams. We've got David Montgomery on the program. Big one between those Lions and Cowboys. Oh, the lights just went out. That's fun. Oh, and they went out again. My goodness gracious. At Up and Adams Show with your tweets. Let's hand out some attaboys.
Attaboy!
Thank you. That's my guy, Eric. He wore shorts to SoFi this weekend. And we're going to start with DJ Moore. DJ Moore, we love starting with some Bears. Oh, look at you giving some inter-division love. He was awesome. Former squad. We love games like this. He'll pretend that doesn't matter. He's quiet, but he's got confidence. Not one, but 2 touchdowns. That second one was insane. We had Keekly break it down earlier this week. This is hopefully, the first of many 100-yard games with Caleb.
Attaboy!
At a what?
Baby.
Correct. A lot of BS out there around DJ and Caleb and the offense. It was very nice to see it all come together on Sunday. The Bears have now moved into playoff positioning in the NFC. They will look to make it 3 straight wins if they can take down the Jags, and that gets an attaboy.
Attaboy!
Also, I get an attaboy. Kat, what was the sound that we did when we took a plane and it was Grandpa whatever? What is it? What movie is that from? Yeah. It's some Will Ferrell movie, and Caleb did that with Keenan on the sidelines, and they, did it, and I was like, I know what that is. I'm so cool. What's Holes? No. Holes is a scary movie, right?
Yeah. that's
Isn't
what I
Holes with like
remember it as.
Joaquin Phoenix and there's like a guy that's hiding in the closet?
Remember? Shia LaBeouf. And I remember reading the book.
What's the one with the aliens and the baseball bat and the things of water? Signs. Never heard of Holes. Okay.
I don't watch movies, Kay.
Next up, we got Commanders linebacker Bobby Wagner. He was all over the field.
Attaboy, old head Bobby.
6 tackles, sack and a half. Attaboy!
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, look, he took down 2 dudes at the same time. Goodbye, Jerome Ford and Deshaun Watson. That's a bowling ball right there. He also forced Deshaun to fumble later in the game to the cheering of many. He's currently 11th in the league in tackles on the year. And this is kind of exciting. Attababy. He's passed Hall of Famer Zach Thomas for 5th most all time. If he keeps this up, he will pass a great name. Jesse Tuggle. Tuggle's a great name. Jesse Tuggle, oh my gosh, and the late, great Junior Seau this year. Wow, getting to 3rd most all time. B-Wags cares about legacy. He cares about things. He does this the right way, and he's, not that he needs to, any bolstering of his undeniable claim to the Hall of Fame, but this is a big reason why the defense has gone from dead last a year ago to 14th this season so far. So we love the Commanders. We love what they're doing.
First ballot, attaboy.
You're so insane. Should we give one to Van Ginkel?
I'm all right with that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't like seeing Aaron get hit.
He looks like Malibu from American Gladiators.
Do I love Aaron? I'm like, I don't like seeing him get. I don't like seeing it. Maybe it's I'm facing my own mortality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm like looking at him and I'm like, man, I'm right there
that.
with you. Gotta give it to Van Ginkel, setting the tone. This is like nothing. Hamilton set 9,000 exclamation points when this happened. He goes, "It's always Van Ginkel!" Drops into coverage, picking off Aaron Rodgers. I was so hungover watching this in the morning. I went to my mother, who, by the way, Basha, happy birthday. Can we get Basha on Attaboy?
Attaboy.
I drank too much Polish vodka. My nephew turned 12, and I was watching this game in the morning like, what is happening? What is happening? But that was amazing. Minnesota's first touchdown of the day. Van Ginkel's 3rd pick 6 in his last 11 games, going back to last season in Miami. And check this out. He became the 4th linebacker in NFL history to record 3 pick 6s in an 11-game span. That puts him in the company of Derek Johnson. That's crazy. Derek Johnson, Teddy Bruschi, and Derek Brooks, who we love on the show. By the way, Bruschi and Brooks both won Super Bowls during their pick 6 streaks. Just saying, is this a sign of things to come for the Vikings? Probably. Either way, Van Ginkel seems like a very Viking name, doesn't it?
It sounds like
It works.
Skull that attaboy.
What's going on with you? Yeah, just another brilliant move by the front office in Minnesota. We'll be back with David Montgomery after this. A little more NFC North. He doesn't want us talking about Van Ginkel. Yeah, we know. Eric, thank you. What else we got? What else we got here? What's the best part of the game?
I would just say the fan base there. It was like 70% Packers fan.
so
I'm
far
going to
a
the higher
lot.
count. I'm just like, I have tennis elbow
So
from
these
the
are
high
Packers
fives I was
fans that
giving out.
live in
Transplants,
Los
and then a lot of
Angeles?
people travel too.
That'd be a great
Yeah.
place to. Oh, my mom's calling right now.
I was walking around
That would
Manhattan
be
Beach.
that would
people
be a
just-
great place to like to meet like a well-adjusted person
There you go.
in LA.
Normal person.
Like a Midwest
Yeah.
Cat's laughing. You know what I'm saying?
What's so funny,
Probably.
Kat?
100 lat, niech żyje nam 100 lat, baba.
All right.
I love that you don't know that I'm working. It's very funny. Oh yeah? Kocham was. Love you. I'll call you later. You look pretty.
Thank you.
Love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
100 lat.
Że pamiętasz.
Mom, what did you think of Aaron Rodgers? We watched the game together. He was just, they were hurting him, huh?
Ja nie mogę patrzeć, jak oni go
She
przemawiają,
can't
wiesz?
watch as they take him down. What else do you think? He's
Very nice guy.
he's a very nice guy. Interesting. All right, love you, mommy.
Kogo tak, do kogo? Dorocia, masz czas? Nie masz czasu?
No, I'm on TV, mommy. I love you. Bye.
Okay, I love you.
Oh my God. She goes, no, I know you're on TV. No. I did call her before the show. What? Basha, Basia. Mommy. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. We got Mike Silver coming on the show, and we've got David Montgomery. Hoo, 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 hoo. No Jake Moody's going to be a problem. Remember my obsession with Jake Moody? Jake Moody was more my obsession last year. I was real into Jake Moody. All right, I'm excited. I haven't seen, God, I don't know that I've talked to David since he was a Bear. If you guys have any questions for our guy, let me know. Not my mom saying Aaron Rodgers is the nice guy. I'm dead.
This one right here is for the bosses, winning everything and never stopping no losses. Look at that. The crosses, take it as a one, and if you try to double cross us. David Montgomery's throwing the touchdown. I'm a boss.
Lions looking to be 4-1. They won the division last year. They've got to get past the Cowboys in Dallas this weekend. My next guest is going to be out there doing his thing. He has rushed, this is insane, for nearly 5,000 yards in his career. He is, in my opinion, a tone setter, a tone-setting running back for these 3-1 Lions, and an Eagle Scout, which we're going to get into. David, I haven't talked to you in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. We got some catching up to do.
We do. I mean, you left my Bears, and now look at you, just thriving.
Yeah, I think everything happens for a reason.
That's true, that's true. And a lot of things influence how we get to where we are and things along the way. You were an Eagle Scout, or you became one back in high school. So you're here to sort of talk about Scouting America. I want to know why this partnership is so important to you.
Oh, yeah, it's very important. I've been blessed with the opportunity to partner with Scouting America. Yeah, scouting for me, like, the entirety of my life, I come from a, impoverished situation, and, being in that element, you always need something that can counter the thing that you go through on an everyday basis. And, I was fortunate enough to be introduced to scouting at a young age, and, I kind of hit it 4-4 zone, and I've enjoyed it, and I've been blessed with the experience ever since. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited for this partnership.
What has being a scout done for you?
Oh, yeah. I like to say that scouting has helped create my foundation, help shape my morals. Just being able to be a scout coming from where I come from, you don't see a lot of kids doing it. You don't see it enough in school. You don't hear about it enough. And it's always like viewed in a negative light. Everyone think like they have this perspective on scouting, but scouting is so much more. And it does so much more for you, helps build character. It creates like a different kind of responsibility that you got to rely on yourself, but you also got to rely on a group of people that are your age to wield for things to get done properly. So, yeah, I think scouting is definitely the foundation of who I am.
And it's a worldwide sort of thing. I know that there's like American Scout. I was no joke, I was a Polish, I grew up in Chicago, but like Polish community. I was a Polish Explorer Scout. So like until I was 18, I led a troop. I did the whole thing. They would put me in the forest. I would have to use like a compass and maps and stuff to like learn how to build a fire, learn how to tie 8 ropes, get all the badges. Like it was beyond formative for me as a person, truly. And the community and the adversity and all of that. And I know like when Eagle Scout status is no joke. I think it's the highest place you can get. What went into getting that? What was the hardest part?
Oh man, it took a lot of time. And I wanted to be sure that whatever I decided to do for my Eagle Scout project, it was like right for me. And I wanted like a large amount of people to benefit from what I could do. Like I wanted to feel that I was inspiring change, and I also wanted to feel as if I could give somebody something without them knowing that it was coming from me. I wanted it to just be like authentic. Like I wanted to feel like they could just go to a place and they can do like the simple necessities that they don't get granted every day. And yeah, it was beautiful.
So you did that by what I'm reading here. You hosted post Friday Night Lights sort of drives for like things that people need that they couldn't buy or weren't, You know, there's an unhoused community in Cincinnati that you were like creating things to support them.
Yeah. So my Eagle Scout project consisted of it was out of the Mary Magdalene House, which is a home for homeless people to come and bathe and shower. But what happened was they would run out of a lot of items, toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, like your normal stuff to, kind of keep your hygiene up. So what I did was after every game, I set up kind of a system to where people who were coming to like my football games, like we were winning, and I would have them drop off like smaller like toiletry items. And we got to a point where like we had an overhaul, and my grandmother, she worked at a company that I was able to like take some of the defected like products from there and kind of use those, like the products that were spelled wrong, or like the products that like some of the labels that were falling off that they would just kind of throw away. I'm like, well, we might as well put them to use. So we put all of that together, and, we created a system to where like we ensured that those people had the right things in order for them to, if they needed to have a job interview or they need to go somewhere to be like highly presentable, like we can give them that. And yeah, I'm happy that we were able to get that done.
Who on your team would be the worst Eagle Scout?
The worst? I don't think we have any.
Who's not cut out for it?
I don't know. I think everybody would be. I mean, because if you looked at from where I came from, you'd think I wouldn't be cut out for it. So I don't think scouting looks a certain way on a certain person. It just has to touch and impact that person in a certain way to where you feel like you can wear that label.
Beascout.org is where you can go for more information to support. It sounds like there's a lot of different ways. Scouting has a lot of different definitions, different communities, but it makes an impact. It's a good thing to look into. And thanks for bringing such great awareness to it. Very, very cool, and you helped a lot of people. You really did. You're very humble, David, as always, but you helped a lot of people. You're also a great freaking football player. You're on pace, just another 1,000-yard season. Going back to last year, you've scored a rushing touchdown in 7 straight, I believe. Chances, what happens against the Cowboys?
Oh, yeah, I hope the chances are high. If the cards fall that way, they fall that way. But if they don't, I just want to win.
Do you know what happens if you score a touchdown this week?
We get points.
There's that. Correct. Good answer. You pass, David, the legend, Hall of Famer Walter Payton, a guy I know you modeled your game after. What would it mean to pass Sweetness?
Oh, it'd be an honor. I was not aware of that by any means. I just go out and play, so I'm not really too big on the accolades and those kind of things. I just want to go out and play, have fun with the guys, and make this experience one to remember.
But I know your grandpa showed you Walter Payton videos growing up.
Yeah, he sure did. Sure did. It's good to be in great company like that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Speaking of legends, you just posted on Instagram that you still haven't seen anyone move like LaShawn McCoy, our friend of the show. What is that face?
Yeah, he's elite. He's elite. Yeah, I still have to this day. I've seen anybody move like that. The closest I probably see is probably Jameer, and Jameer is not too far off. He's special, but like how he moves is different. So I'm just happy that I was able to experience it and see it.
I mean, yeah, you're looking at these highlights. I like watching your face. But you mentioned Gibbs. I feel like you guys have that best running back in duo history thing on lock. You're trying to do it. I'm sure you challenge each other. How do you make each other better?
Holding each other accountable. Really, I think that's what it. Like we look at each other like it's a friendly competition. Like we want to be the best running back duo to ever do it. But we also we got high expectations for ourselves. So, like, Jameer being in his 2nd year and I'm in my 6th year, I know I have a lot of humility in trying to get better, right? Like, you see and you hear, like, a lot of people from a lot of places, like, you get to a certain year, you become a certain age, you're like, well, I know enough, and I feel like I can't learn from anybody. But I look at it like, Jameer is special in his own way, and the things that he can do very well, like he can teach me and help me. So I think us being accountable for one another, holding ourselves and each one of us to like a standard that we know that we can live by, and kind of like blocking out the noise and like having the horse blinders on, because we live in a world where everybody wants to make it about competition, and everybody wants me and Jameer to be against each other. But that's my little brother. Like, I love him to death, and I want the best for him, and he wants the best for me. So, yeah, we see each other in that light.
It's got to have a lot to do with Dan Campbell, huh? Just like
Yeah.
the mentality
Coach
you're talking about, holding each other accountable. Like, you're seeing what's going on with coaches around the league. How happy are you to have your guy?
Yeah, Coach Campbell, he's a special and a different dude. Yeah, I'm the way that I was raised and the things that I came from and the things that I've experienced, I wouldn't want to be playing for any other coach.
Love that. Excited for Lions fans? You head to Jerry World. They haven't beaten the Lions, the Cowboys, since 2013. I bet you didn't know that either?
Yeah, no, I didn't pay attention too much to that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you pay attention to that. What's important to you? Just really doing your best? Is there a number you look for? Does that 1,000-yard season mean something to you? Like, here's what I want to know. When I'm watching you and I'm cheering you on, when it happens, when do I know that you're really excited about that?
When you remove pride and ego from what you think you want for what everybody else needs. Like, having that point where you understand that nobody's ever going to remember how many 1,000-yard seasons you have or how many touchdowns you have. Yeah, it might go down in the history book and it's always breakable, but I look at it like, if we can get a Super Bowl, that's something that people going to remember. Like, me having 1,000-yard seasons, that don't create opportunities for the city of Detroit. But if we win a Super Bowl, when we win a Super Bowl,
when Super Bowl,
when it does amazing things for the city of Detroit that it's long overdue for this city. This is a beautiful city, and people don't know how beautiful it is and how beautiful these people are, and they deserve everything. So I think every time I get an opportunity to kind of go out there and showcase myself, I try to remove myself out of it and put it in a way to where I'm doing it for the city of Detroit.
David, my heart rate is up. I want to go to beascout.org and find out how you became this way. What you're saying is absolutely perfect. I'm so happy for your success. When you win the Super Bowl, I will be rooting for you. And Scouting America, by the way, stands out as a really trusted partner. They teach people life skills to navigate the times right now, to be rooted, to be grounded. To learn more, visit your local troop, beascout.org. Thank you, David.
Of course, thank you.
Always good to see you. Up next, let's talk a little NFC West. We're kicking off Week 5, of course. Is it Week 5 or Week 6? I don't even freaking know. Mike Silver does. We'll be here next. Mike, what would it be like if I was that humble as David Montgomery? Michael.
Okay.
You know, how he answers that question. I don't want 1,000 yards. Am I helping the city? What? He's perfect. What?
I'm gonna
That's
bring,
why him and
bring
Gibbs,
a little.
he and Gibbs work. What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna bring a little more energy. I promise.
Ah, don't you, excuse me, we will cut this interview short if you're gonna talk about other guests' energy. Excuse me?
I love him. He's just like the quiet storm. He's mellow.
I love him. I absolutely love him. How are you, media darling? Just making,
good.
making your rounds?
I got a lot popping. Yeah, but you kicked it all off, so I owe you big time.
I wouldn't kick it off if you didn't write this.
That's true.
The why. We had a book, then we didn't. You actually never, you know, let me just call some bullshit here. You didn't even ever send me the real book.
Yeah, they did.
Nope. You sent us a
well,
cover.
We
sent it as a cover, and I think we put it on the Odyssey or something.
I'll text you after. Hey, if I want to come have a meal with you, where do I have to go? Orange County or LA?
When's the last time you and I had a meal together? Let's really be honest.
Where do I have to go?
We went to a place that had a really freaking good pizza. Where did we go? We went somewhere. It was it was called a grandma's pizza, and it was so freaking good.
It was so good.
It was called. It was so good. I dream about this pizza. It's in New York, and it wasn't a pizza place, so everyone knows.
Wasn't it like breakfast though, or brunch? Oh no.
We've had a few meals, but it's been a very long time. Is that a beer? I hope
I'm
it is.
coming to have a meal with you and hand delivering a book and signing it. And
when are you here?
Always. I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on with you? I mean, we're on in a minute.
Text you.
These
Text you after.
Niners, man.
Yeah, I know. They're kind of I'm trying to figure out if they're slumping or not as good as I thought, and I'll know more tomorrow.
I don't know. Don't you think the NFL? Don't you think we're having just a weird year?
Yeah.
We're having a weird.
Like the Vikings. The
Yeah, but
Vikings, I did not see coming.
It can't be early because it's like going to be over before I know it. You know?
Yeah. Are the Commanders good?
Yeah.
He's good. The quarterback.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They're good. I think they're.
That's good.
I think they
That's
are
good
like.
for football.
I think it's there to stay. I do. I love Dan. Cliff was my question there, but so far so good. Next, guest, a best-selling author. New book is Why is Everything. I cannot wait to get a signed copy. Michael Silver back on the show. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's hard to follow David. What a cool story. The scout background. I didn't know any of that. So thank you for doing all that good journalism for
Maybe
me.
you'll write a book. You know me, capital J always. Your new book, because you are a real journalist, you examined the fun bunch. That's Shanny, his disciples, LaFleur, McVay, you got Mike McDaniel, Raheem Morris. Do you think that these guys have a group chat and talk regularly? And tell us what you learned.
I don't think there's a group chat because I think with Kyle and Sean, it is so heated, and that's partly circumstance, right? They're in the same division. They play twice a year. They're competing for supremacy in the NFC and in football. There's a chapter in their K called Enemy Friends. Mm-hmm. That's a quote from Raheem Morris, their mutual friend. And, so there are definitely chats. I've thought about doing one with all five of them and me, just to see who I could trigger the most, but I have not done that yet. I'm not bold enough.
Have you heard from them? Are they happy with you, or some of them annoyed with you? Like, how does it go?
It's a great question. I haven't heard from any of them yet, but I think it's a function of them being in season, and you know how they are. Like, Kyle's on a short week this week, so we said hi at a press conference yesterday, but they do grind. So I would listen. It's almost all on tape. From them to me, like I would imagine that it's all going to be fine.
I don't know. I don't know. I look at some of these guys and I would be nervous to write about them because I think that there are
coaches,
some sensitivities here.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff in there that they're not going to like, some of them, but listen, it's the truth. And the general thesis of the book is that they are reinventing football collectively and individually. They have a different mindset that has previously existed that is taking over the league, and you see it. You see all the tentacles. Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Yeah. You saw the Saints' hot start with young Kubiak. Obviously, Bobby Slowick and D'Amico in Houston last year. It's not all perfect, as Mike McDaniel is finding out this year, but you see the impact everywhere.
It's The Why is Everything, and you guys can pick it up. It's a great gift. Of course, the holidays are coming. Guys, I cannot wait to read it. I kind of want to know, what is the one thread that connects all of them? Maybe it's a quality. What quality connects all of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, they all worked for Mike Shanahan, so there's a heavy level of detail, like an excruciating detail that's laid out. But I would say the quality is willingness to innovate on the fly, to throw out everything that previously existed and deconstruct, and having the boldness to say, we don't care what came before, we don't care what our current system is, we'll break it all down and reinvent it if we have to. That's what they did in 2012 with RG3, running everything out of the pistol when they were all on that Washington staff. And, they want to, there's a purpose behind everything they do. Yeah. And unlike so many coaches for so many years, they want their players to know the purpose too. Most coaches are like, don't ask why. Like, it's just do what we say. These guys want to be able to tell their players, this is the reason we're telling you to do this, always.
I want you to send a copy to Bill. and all I want is to watch him read it.
Oh yeah.
I just think he'll have a lot. Bill Belichick needs to review this book.
He's in there obviously, and there's a great moment. So the book starts. The introduction is Kyle in the press box as the Falcons offensive coordinator during Super Bowl 51, and we get into his head. But then later in the book, when we get back there, the game ends, and Kyle's obviously devastated. He's going to take over as coach of the 49ers, gets a text from Bill, and he says, hey, he doesn't really know Bill, and Bill says, great game plan, and blank you, because now everybody's going to use that stuff against me. Kyle had cracked the code and figured out a way to exploit Bill's defense, and that's kind of how their weird bromance was born.
Yeah, and yet somehow Bill didn't join the staff. I thought that maybe that he would put it to...
Bill's not a join the staff guy.
No, I know. I want Bill to be a go take over the Jets guy, no?
I mean, someone's going to really want Bill to take over their team, and they're going to get one of the greatest coaches in history. So this book's not about him, but he's everywhere.
We have one last one for you. I'm not going to ask you about the Niners. We can't figure them out. But the Saleh thing, obviously it ties into the coaching. There's a lot of connections to him. What did you make of that? What do you think is the most important thing to consider as we go forward?
Well, quarterbacks matter, right? And he went all in on Aaron Rodgers after the Zach Wilson debacle. He got hurt. He's easing his way back in. Look at Mike McDaniel. Last year, he dropped 70 and took knees during the game while resurrecting Tua. This year, they don't have it figured out. He's going to have to innovate on the fly. That's what these guys do. Mike
Silver, you owe me a pizza, you owe me a beer, and you owe me a book. The Why is everything. Guys, go pick it up. My favorite is Revolution, a story of football rivalry and a revolution. Mike Silver, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't know why everyone calls you Mike Silver. I'm glad you went with Michael. You're a grown-up. I love you. Bye.